one of the interesting things I found about the rehearsal sequences in the film where he's directing his dancers is that I haven't seen a film articulate how choreographers work and how it's a matter of controlling and releasing energy in a way a choreographer is a sculptor of energy. And this comes across very strongly in your film.
Because what was very powerful me, it's a very new way that Ohad Naharin working with his dancer. He's talking about don't afraid to looking for a new border or to cross a new border every day. But it's not a cliche. You know what I mean? If you remember the opening scenes, he's sitting and tell to his dancer, falling, and you hear, and it's almost, it's hard to listen to the voice when she's falling on the floor and tell her, no, again and again and again. And only at the end of the movie, after 100 minutes, you see how beautiful she's doing it and that she catches the essence of it. So there's a very beautiful way how he not let his dancer to give up and to relax and to say, I know what I'm doing. No, Monday, you try something else. Tuesday, you will try something else. And one of the beautiful things I think you're talking about in the movie about his creative process, when you see this beautiful female dancer. She's almost gorgeous. She's perfect. She's sexy. She's moving unbelievable. She's amazing. And what Ohad Naharin told her, look, you are perfect. You are amazing. Less is more. You don't need to show it. You don't need this show off. And she don't know what to do with this tool. It's confused her.
Well, I was going to actually ask you about some of the language that he uses. I mean, occasionally he will say something that's actually quite pithy, like movement in its purest form is above gender. That's a very wise and cogent and beautiful thing to say. It's a lovely line. But at the same time, you've captured him talking to his dancers in ways that are hard to understand about, he is telling one dancer, exaggerate, define and find, and then exaggerate something without changing it. And I'm watching this thing feeling sorry for the dancer because I don't know what he's talking about. Does the dancer understand? Were you sometimes confounded by the way he spoke sometimes?
You don't need to be sorry for them because after so many years with them, they went through something so strong through the time they are working with him. And they told me, Tomer, we get some knowledge and information and awareness about our body. It's much higher and bigger and deeper than dance. It's a lesson to our life. The whole idea that you can go through darkness in your life, through sadness, through crisis. And I was there when a dancer went through something very bad in his private life. It's happened to all of us. I'm sure you one day morning time you come to the radio, you are very depressed or something happened to you. How you deal with it, for example? Think about that someone here will tell you, I have an idea for you. Don't leave it behind the door. Don't leave this sadness in your heart behind the window. Bring it inside to the radio and deal with it and work with it. And that's what happened in the studio of Batsheva. I found it as a beautiful lab for human being behavior. And something that I can tell you that I had a screening here in Australia already and I'm all over the world with Mr Gaga. And the end of the movie, people start to stand and they start to move with no music. And I say, guy, this is not a class. This is a movie. But they just want to move with their body. If I can talk with you about, you remember there's a very strong moment in the movie when some girls with syndrome Rett, very heavy illness. You remember this moment? It's unbelievable because these people, like Alzheimer people or disabled people, I will call them like left over by the society sometimes. You know what I mean? Society don't want to deal with them. And then one day Ohad Naharin told me, come with me. I want to show you the power of dance. But not with dancer. With regular people. Not with regular people. With people that have a huge problem with their body. They cannot move. They come with chair to the class. And I saw it. And I saw how they came, all of them, very down, half dead body, no motivation, no passion, no sexuality around, because they were get used to be numb. And then after 1 hour with Ohad, you saw what's happened. These girls smile and discover something new in their body. So it's what I tried to tell you, that dance is not belong to the dancer or to the stage. 8 years ago, when I start create this movie, Mr. Gaga, I had this very stupid image that what is dance? You know, dance belongs to the dancer on stage. If you're not professional dancer, it's not belong to you. And now I'm completely on the opposite side of it. I say, no, guys, dance belongs to all of us. And also I can tell you from a very personal experience, when my boyfriend left me and I was down, I get a phone call from Ohad and he told me, come to a Gaga class and try it. After 3 times, I went out from the studio and I heard the birds and I said, wow, the sound of birds. And I went to eat an ice cream and the taste of ice cream came back to my lips. And I was laughing and I was smiling and nothing changed in my life. I still was lonely, you know what I mean? My boyfriend left me, left the country. But through this inside research with myself and through the Gaga class, I connect myself to life. And I wish it will happen to more people.
It sounds like you can't make another movie. It sounds like this is it for you.
It's the hardest movie ever I did in my life.
Why is it? Because it was so personal and
because
so
the
passionate.
character is full of he can be very large, but he can be very tough. He can be very beautiful and he can be very ugly. And each time I discover, and I didn't know that he was serving in the army and all his friends were killed in the war. So then a new information, and then he danced with Maurice Bajar, and then the new wife that came to his life when he was 57. You know, to be a father when you are around 57, it's quite surprising the movie. You know, and to see this amazing strong things when the young daughter coming to the studio. And it's a trio angle between, you know, the new lover, amazing Japanese girl, Eri, and Ohad Naharin is almost 57, and the young girl that she's crying like crazy because someone take her from the studio. So each time I discover more and more and more and more, and I say, I cannot stop shooting. Since one day I say, this is a movie I want to do.
What's your next film? And are you going to deliberately take a different tack to it? Because, you know, you're a documentarian and to some degree you're supposed to be a little bit dispassionate. This film is obviously an expression of love and passion on your part for someone who you deeply admire. So are you planning with your next film to maybe pull back from that?
I think my next project will be about, someone is kind of present the opposite side of life. He's a big porn star. He's a gay porn star from Israel who moved to Germany. He suffered a lot as a young boy. He was with kind of female behavior, very sensitive. And then he was discovered by an American company that took him when he was 16 or 17. And in 1 year, he became to be the most successful porn star around the world.
What's his name?
Jonathan Agassi.
Jonathan Agassi.
Yeah, and people know him even here in Australia and especially in Melbourne. And the movie called Jonathan Agassi Saved My Life. And
that's the film that you're making next.
Yeah, that's the next movie I'm going to work on it. And by the way, after Mr. Gaga, I finish another project. Is very interesting. It's called Who Is It Gonna Love Me Now? Who got the audience prize from Berlin Film Festival. And it's a very strong story about a guy from kibbutz. Do you know what is a kibbutz?
Yes.
So a kibbutz, this small community, they kicked him out from the community because they discover he is not anymore religious. And he moved to London and he got the HIV. And he have a huge conflict with his family. And after 18 years, he decided to come back to Israel from London and to confront the family with the idea that he got HIV and all the values that he's growing up. Now we want to check his parents, if they still love him and will take him. So this movie already over. But you know what I'm now doing with my life? I'm traveling with the movie Mr. Gaga, and I meet audience, and this is the most beautiful gift I can ask in my life, because everyone reacts so differently to Mr. Gaga.
Tomer, while I've got you here, and I don't mean to change the mood, but while I've actually got you here on camera and in front of live mics, as history would have it, we're doing this interview 24 hours after the most horrific act of domestic terrorism in the United States, the biggest shooting, I think, in United States history. It's been claimed that it's an act on behalf of ISIS, of Islamic extremists, absolutely targeted against the homosexual
the gay community directly against gays. You know, yesterday I wrote a post on my Facebook. I took it really hard.
You can just tell me just how you feel, how you reacted about it, if it stiffened your feelings about various things.
I felt like they killed me, because very easily, if I was in Orlando present Mr. Gaga, and at night I will go to the same gay club because I want to have fun and, you know, to meet some people. I'm doing it here in Melbourne. I might go to one of the gay club tonight. So it can be really easily me. So for me, they killed my brother or my sister. And when you see this young man in the beginning of their life, I saw today a picture of these two young, I think they are 22, 23. And they took a picture because soon they're supposed to be married. And someone, because this craziness on his mind, and especially it's bring me to the idea that I start to be more and more anti-religious. And it's not only the Muslim religious. Jewish, Christian, Muslim, they start to be too fanatic, too radical. And we need to stand and to be there and to kiss and to make love and to make movie and to say, we are gay, we are here. And the moment I heard that so many people, it's immediately brought me to my trauma when it's happened in Israel. In the Jerusalem Pride, they killed also a beautiful girl. And also in Tel Aviv, in the youth group of gay people, where 2 people were killed in Tel Aviv. So it's scary, it's dangerous.
Has it hardened your views politically about radical Islam, about ISIS, or about Muslim religion, about Islam in general at all?
I try to be careful with it, because I try to I have a lot of Arab friends, Muslims, amazing people, some of them my best friend. So on a personal level, I know a lot of Muslims that feel completely like me. So blaming now all the Muslim, I don't believe. But I think what I miss is the leader, these religious people. Where are they, the people who will stand and say, and I don't hear this voice. I don't hear a very important Muslim person that stand loudly and will bring 1 million Muslim outside. Because sometimes they bring the Muslims to be against something or to fight or to hate. But I want to see this 1 million Muslim or 1 million Jewish people stand outside and say, we are against it and we are on your side. But there is something sick on their mind. Why they are so full of homophobia? Why the idea that 2 men that kissing create this ability to go and to kill someone? It's I cannot forgive, and I think I miss the sound of this tolerance from the Muslim and from the other religious. I think we need to ask, hey, where are you now? Where are you for us? Because it's scary. It's scary. You know, in Mr. Gaga's is a beautiful moment with 2 girls are kissing. It's part of my movie. And I remember 92 when I saw it, I was in the closet very deeply. As a young gay guy, I was very scared that people will know that I'm gay. And I was afraid that no one will want to talk to me. And I was afraid that, I will be out from my society and from my family. And I remember going to see this creation by Ohad Naharin, and on stage you see these two girls kissing to each other, and it's looked like the most natural, simple, beautiful. And I remember I told to myself, wow, life as a gay person, as a queer person, can be natural and normal and beautiful. And now these days, it's almost, I feel like they want to take me back 20 years ago and to put me inside to the closet. And we're going to fight about our right.
Can I ask you just one question, just as we wind up? Where did you come out?
I was in Israel with my family. First, I think first with my mother, and then she called to my father. I have 4 brothers. It took me time, but I was sure this is going to be my life, and I'm so happy with my life as I don't want to change it. So I think once my family realized this is my life, and you want to join me to my journey, welcome. If you are not with me, I'm going all the way. And they join me, and I have a beautiful family who support me. And to close it, just to let you know, my first ever festival in my life was here in Melbourne Film Festival. It was 2002 with my first movie. It's about me as a gay person going out from the closet. I was invited to Melbourne. I didn't know what is this town. I never been to a film festival before. And the end of the film festival, I was on my way back to Israel, and they told me, no, you stay because you're going to get the first prize for the best documentary in Melbourne Film Festival. And the first prize ever in my career was here in this beautiful town. And now I'm back to town.
What's the name of the film?
What was
the name of the movie?
The name is called It Kinda Scares Me.
It Kind of Scares Me.
And It Kinda Scares Me is the sentences from this group I work with. Once they realize I'm gay, that's one of the teenagers told me, it's kind of scares me. and that's the reason I'm Melbourne forever will be a very important place in my life.